Hey guys, welcome back to Vanish or Corrupt. I'm Steven, and today we're going to talk about a different subject. And I'm sure you are aware when it comes to the drones that are flying around and kind of wreaking havoc right now in New Jersey and other areas of the world. Here's what's crazy to me. I'm a drone operator. I've also been in the wireless industry for now 13 years, and I have literally seen the infrastructure we've built called multimeter wave or 3.5 that is out there for the government's use. Now, it does kind of like back and forth go between a general network system settings to just the government strictly. It's a Navy federal band. You can look this up, 3.5 CBRS. Verizon is what they call it. I'm not sure what AT&T calls it, but again, it's a network that is, literally built for the use of the government. So like they come into town, they use that network only because, they need reliability. And let's just face it, things happen every day out there on the standard network, whether it be drop calls, whatever. So I can tell you right now that sitting right beside me that I have one of these radios. Now, you'll see that this is the antenna face. It's an AirScale type antenna. They're very good. Now, they look like this. This one is a 2-port antenna, but that one takes a 4-point antenna. You get what I'm saying. So my general concern here, though, is I'm going to take you on a rabbit hole real quick. And this video won't be too long. It's just trying to explain something that I feel like may be the truth in what's happening. Not only that, share a video with you on the first few minutes of what this man says. I think it's possible that these people are, they're frightened for a good reason. But then again, it could be little to nothing. So when you look at these drone videos, they're kind of similar in general retrospect. When you talk about, they all seem to be in a formation, right? When that formation goes, you take and you kind of zoom into the video, you'll see that it's going in like a kind of like a vertical, horizontal, linear path almost. So it goes up, goes over. It's no erratic movement. Now, there's other videos where there is erratic movement. But again, most of these videos are strictly within the normal left, right, down, up, slow, not jetting through there like a UFO. That being said, it's the length of time that's got me. It's the 2 hours, not 45 minutes like DJI's. I mean, I have two of them sitting right here. I have the Mav 3, the standard, and then I have the thermal. Hell, I'm good if I get 20 minutes out of those. But again, when you look at it for an overall, there's no drone that's capable of being in the air for more than 2 hours. Now, can I say that the government may absolutely have something that's specifically built and designed for them? Yeah. I mean, DJI has one to the general public called an Agri-Drone T40, rather large. But the battery systems on them still don't give it no more than 45 minutes of flight time. So I would assume for these things to be what they are, it's almost like a Tesla flying, right? Large scale battery. So now let's talk about grids and why I think that is an important thing in this. DJI themselves, which is something I utilize every day, have something called Flight Hub 2, cloud mapping. They run grids. Now, when I zone out an area, it's going to run a grid, and it's taking 1,000 or 2,000 photos, and it lays them all together to build like a cloud platform. I can go in there, highlight it. I can look at it, 3-dimensional, whatever it is. I have it, and I can see it just sitting here as if I was outside with it. Some of these drones are capable of being more than 400 feet in the air, and you can zoom all the way in to read what a quarter says in your hand, literally. And I find that to be very unique. Now, when you talk in the general terms of why they're out here doing this, well, it's because they said that a threat of some sort was snuck into a port, and it is somewhere here now in the U.S. That is what alarmed me. And I'm like, okay, well, put all this together. That would make a lot of sense, right? It would make a lot of sense on why they're not telling the general public. But again, you think with the government being as distrusting as they are, they would want to work on that trust with the general population. But it's neither here nor there. And if you've seen the last few years, I mean, really, what do you expect? So we're going to watch this video real quick. I think maybe, hopefully, it will kind of put some light on what I'm trying to say, because I am terrible at explanations. I just thought what he had to say was kind of a red flag for me of like, okay, now this may be more logical than I thought. So we'll go click
NBC, nuclear biological contamination sniffers, so to speak, and that they are worried that there might be some kind of nuclear radiological dirty bomb device on the East Coast. Folks, I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm not scaring anybody. I get a lot of flack because I share information unvarnished. This is what was told to me. Again, do with it as you want, but it's very concerning. I will say this, Devon. Most of these aircraft in the sky have federal aviation anti-collision navigational lights, the red and the green. Okay, China, Russia wouldn't put nav lights on. Aliens wouldn't put follow FAA rules and put navigational aids on. This is obviously the United States government. And what I was told by another person, that it is called a red cell operation to test the readiness of American forces and the public, to confuse them and bewilder them. A red cell operation by a high.
Okay, so if this is a red cell operation, I could understand all that. But again, we're talking about when you can go online and search a forum right now where it talks about a dirty bomb being put in from the port, and it's somewhere in the US. They don't know where. Now, are they capable of having like multispectral lenses that can, possibly see radiation or gamma rays? I'm sure. But again, it's alarming that we're in this kind of like weird pattern. If you ask me, it makes no sense. I think edge for whatever reason is beyond my comprehension. I think that if the government would work on actually just talking to us as as people of the U.S., people that pay our taxes and do what we're supposed to, then maybe they'd have a little bit more support. But dude, they've gotten to where they're just kind of vigilante right now. They don't care about us, we the people, and that's kind of bothersome to me. But at the end of the day, man, I just go to work, take care of my family. I just wanted to highlight, a couple things that were just really popping out to me. And that's the simple fact that I think that people are claiming these, right, to be something that they're not, when in reality, they're much larger government drones. And, we do have the capabilities of, think about Tesla for an instance, right? That car is a huge battery and it can go for miles. Now, if they're able to take that same technology, figure out a way to put it into a drone, right? Because that one I saw looked just like a Tesla, just with wings at both the front and end and rotors. So maybe that is what's going on. And they're long range type drones and they're owned by the government, and they're doing system sweeps and they're taking these images. And exactly what's been said is they are cloud mapping, essentially, is what I'm going to call it. They're going through here, taking multiple images of locations, thousands and thousands of images. They're all working in a grid. And because why? It covers a large, vast area. Why would you do it in certain locations? Well, look at your military bases. Because why? If somebody snuck something in, let's just say that, where would you put it? You're not going to put it in some random location. You're going to put it in city centrals. You're going to put it next to, bases, things that are of importance more so than anything. But again, I just wanted y'all to see this. And I'm going to move my face real quick because I want y'all to see who posted this so you can go watch it. Because again, I found it to be very interesting. And I think that in time, maybe hopefully the truth comes out. I do think it's not, I don't believe it to be nefarious. And maybe it is a false flag or something like that, right? Used to we'd say, hey man, don't listen to anything, conspiracy related, or don't listen to anything conspiracy, because you can't believe it or trust it. And, we find ourselves now being like, man, you got to give it a shot, 50-50, right? Some part of you don't want to believe it, but then we've watched so many times where a conspiracy theory is not just that, it's the truth. And you're like, well, okay, well, I guess we're just going to move on from this, right? But anyways, man, I hope this kind of explains things. Like, share, subscribe, do all that fun shit. Till next time, peace.